Hello and welcome to a new vlog. It's that time again, but hey, pretty exciting that I've been able to do them weekly lately. I hope you're enjoying. It's Friday. I just finished up editing last week's vlog, getting it all pre-uploaded and ready to go with captions and everything. I've talked about before, it's really important to me that captions are done by me on all of our videos. So I'm feeling pretty productive with today. I had a co-working session with the Creative Academy with Kelsey Rodriguez earlier today for about an hour. I got the bulk of my video edit done during that point. I do want to spend largely the rest of today doing video editing. So it's 3:20 now. I could maybe get in another 40 minutes or so, maybe an hour of editing in on next week's full video on the main channel before we need to go do dinner, and then I can come back and get some more video editing done. If I could try and get next week's video done by the end of today, I think that would be ideal, and that way I can spend the weekend working on plans and some filming for short format videos. So I want to be doing those more regularly, and I'd like those to be a little bit more fun and interesting. And I have to figure out what all that's going to be. I have some ideas, I have some plans, but it's execution is the thing that gets me, because it'll take me like a good chunk of the day to film that. So maybe that's something I'll work on either Saturday or Sunday. But right now I have finished the vlog. I think I'm going to take a brief break to walk around for a little bit and stretch my legs, and then I'm going to be back at it. So much more trying desperately not to do shrimp pose in my chair while I work. And something I'm considering while I'm sitting here working, the lighting over here at my desk is not great. If you couldn't tell, it's a little grainy, it's a little dark over here, and I would like to be able to film more short format content like sitting at my desk. And to do that, I need better lighting. So I need to figure out what I want to do about that. I have this lamp right here, and then I have these little guys, which those are fine for like streaming, but they're not great for over here for everything else. So I'd like to figure out some sort of lighting situation here. I don't know what I want to do. Some thinking is required. Trying out something a little bit different here for some possible thumbnails over on the main channel. Ooh, we'll see. I love taking up all of the space ever. It's so great. Hello friends, it is Monday. I spent most of yesterday filming some short format content for Reels, things like that. That took up a huge chunk of my day, and then making dinner, and I ran a little D&D session for the family. So that was fun, enjoyed that. But I am getting settled in here to go ahead and bevel all of the January soaps. And I'm feeling very, very privileged right now in being able to be home and work exclusively on my business and cook all this stuff from scratch. I'm really feeling how special that is and how rare that is and how much that's worth in this current economy. I recognize that a lot of other people in a very similar situation would not be able to do this. And so I'm feeling extremely privileged in the fact that I have a severance that I can rely on until mid-June, that I have the freedom I wouldn't normally have. That's extremely worthwhile. Your time is maybe the biggest resource that you lose just trying to make it. So I'm feeling some kind of way about it today. You know, you try to recognize your privilege where you have it, and I'm feeling it today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on beveling these soaps. We're running into just a minor issue. So I showed a while ago, I think last vlog, that the salts on top of two of these designs have really heavily attracted liquid. And so they are very, very wet. The other two that don't have that are just fine. It's these. So like there's water in the tray all over the place. Some of these got dried off when I took the product photos for those new thumbnail styles that I'm trying out, but the rest of them need to be dried off again. Like all of these here got dried off, and these ones, but not this one. So I'm gonna have to take a paper towel to all of this first before I get started. Got paper towel. So, like I said, I am feeling that privilege, you know? Like, this is not what your average person would be able to do right now. I'm extremely lucky. I don't want it to ever seem like I'm not cognizant of that fact. Yes, I worked at this place for 9 years, and I do feel like I am owed something, obviously. But I feel like anyone else who's worked at a business that all of a sudden, like, gets pulled out from under you also deserves that. You know? Like, I can't imagine the amount of stress I would be under right now if I didn't have that 6.5 months of severance that I knew I could rely on. And that's crazy, you know? I'm very, very lucky. And I don't want it to at all seem like I don't realize that. You know? I'm sure there are some of you out there in the audience who have been laid off. Layoffs are really, really common right now in the US as companies are downsizing. Because, you know, the economy's not great right now, if you hadn't noticed. On top of the fact that we're living in a terrifying fascist regime. Sorry, I'm filming this on the 5th of January, and if you're up on the news at all, we're doing an Iraq in Venezuela, which is really scary. If I laugh, it's because I'm uncomfortable, and sometimes, you know, you make a sound, because what else are you supposed to do? I don't know. I'm a millennial. I'm 38, turning 39 this year, I think. Yeah, turning 39 this year. And I very distinctly remember 9/11 and the war in Iraq, and my dad was in the military, and that was a lot for young me to try and take in while being 16, 17, and coming up in the world. Very formative, unfortunately. Maybe not in the most positive light, but things are shitty right now. I'm trying to be very aware of the kind of privilege that I'm working with right now. And the fact that I just finished getting my tax preparation certification re-upped, because I used to do taxes. And the fact that I can get a job, you know, during tax season easily because my parents own a tax preparation company is also another privilege that I experience, that I'm going to be okay. And that's a lot. That's a lot that I am able to fall back on and rely on that is not usual. It's definitely coming from a place of privilege. And I guess I'm just trying to think about that and make maximum use of the time that I have and do the most good that I can with that privilege. And right now, that means, you know, making sales with my business, because then I can donate to the LGBT center. And I'm just, you know, I'm here, I'm feeling it, I'm doing it. It's the thing. So, I think that is a good chunk of the liquid soaked up here. Oh my god, so many paper towels. I'm bored. Okay. I think that's the best we can get for now. Let's start beveling. Okay, so I was just going to have this be a non-voiceover segment, but I realized as I was putting the footage together that I had these clips of putting together a setup for beveling soaps, and I recorded it like I would do for a reel for funsies, because this probably will become a reel at some point. But in the meantime, you guys get to see it, because this has all of the collection soaps in it, and if I release that too early on the main channel, that's gonna mess things up. So we have these, and then immediately afterwards, apparently I didn't do any further discussion or anything at all. I just went straight into making a batch of Rough Boy. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna catch up a little bit on how things are going. So at the time of recording this, I have been on severance for about a month, It is crazy to think that that much time has gone by already. It's wild. I haven't gotten done nearly as much as I was hoping to get done in terms of like production and things like that, but I feel like I've gotten a good set of editing done. I've gotten reels done. I talked a little bit earlier that I started the Bad Soap Science series over on the main channel, which has been a lot of fun to work on. And I have some other things in the works that I'd like to do related to that as well. And then I have been uploading the vlog every week, which I hope you're enjoying because that's been fun to get to do more often. And I'm caught up and ahead on main channel videos, also another positive. And I am going to be doing some part-time work for my parents, which I talked about earlier. I'm going to be doing taxes. That'll at least keep me partially busy through April, which is good. Making extra money is always a positive thing, for sure. Gotta get that savings going, especially since I'm going to be taking a road trip at the beginning of February with a couple of friends, and I want to make sure, I've got money for that as well. But I just wanted to check in a little bit, and I hope that you're doing well too, and that you are taking care of yourself in a way that is conducive to you and gives you a chance to have proper rest. I've really been focused a lot on the idea of rest lately because it is so infrequent previously that I got to rest, and realizing that I don't really know how to do it. And when I do rest, I feel bad, and realizing that that comes from a place of not great feelings, a lot of capitalism and all that. And I don't always need to be productive, and that sometimes not being productive is actually so much better because it gives me a chance to recover and be able to tackle the tasks that I do need to get done much more easily when I've had the chance to recover. So I am going to leave a couple of links down in the description for some videos that I watched recently talking about rest and like the ethics of laziness, quote unquote, and that laziness doesn't really exist. I found them really interesting and helpful, and I want to share them with you, and hopefully you can check them out too. So maybe that'll help you, because it was kind of a mind-blowing moment for me. But overall, things are going well. I'm going to be working this weekend at my parents' office, getting the policies and procedures done. It's been 9 years since I last did any kind of tax prep, so things have changed a lot in that time, especially given that there's been one full Trump presidency and now a second one since the last time I did taxes. Big changes. A lot of things to get used to. So I'll be doing that. And then I am going to try and get some more business stuff done. I need to really focus on the admin for this coming week. I need to get some 3D printed STL files up on the site that have been asked for the extruder discs. I want to get that done. And I want to send out an email talking about that new lemon soap that I made, that lemon verbena soap that I made last week. I want to talk about that with the subscriber list on our email thingy and see if people have any ideas. So if any of you have ideas for names for that soap, let me know. In the meantime, this is Rough Boy. We have a new batch, and that'll be available on the site probably next week. Ooh, okay. I just finished filming a bunch more for reels for the Bad Soap Science series that I'm working on. If there's any other bad soap science you'd like me to try out, let me know. I would love the content fodder. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with these. I think I had a lot of fun filming them. I'm going to have fun cutting them together and doing the voiceovers. It's so dumb. But it is about noon, so I'm going to make some lunch and then see about doing a quick couple errands out of the house. I want to see if I can get some fabric for making some quilts for my friends, because we're doing Friendsmas in February this time. So, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat first, and then we'll go do that other stuff. So thanks for hanging in. I'll check in a sec. And here's what we're having for lunch. This is some leftover bean salad that I made last night with dinner. So it's chickpeas, black beans, corn, bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, ranch seasoning, garlic, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of mayo. And then I added some rotisserie chicken and half an avocado to it today. because it was really filling last night, but I felt like I could use some more proteins. So I think it's going to taste really good. Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday. And I didn't get done like half of what I wanted to get. Well, that's a lie. I got done a good chunk of things yesterday, but what I wanted to do was try and go to a fabric store. But hey, guess what? There's like no fabric stores left in the immediate area where I live. It's so frustrating. I'm having to drive like 30 minutes just to get to a place that sells fabric that isn't like upholstery fabric. Ugh. Rip Joanne, sweet queen. You were annoying at the best of times, but man, I miss having easy access to fabric. Because I'm going to be doing a pretty significant road trip at the beginning of next month, and I want to make a couple of quilts for my friends that are going to be part of it. And I need fabric, and I need to be able to, like, observe the fabric and touch it. I know ordering online is a thing, but number one, I don't really feel like waiting, and I need to be able to, like, physically interact with the fabric. So I'm all the way out here. I'm going to go see what I can find and see if I can find some good fabrics for the quilt that I want to make, because I want to do the same quilt twice with slightly different colors, like same colors across for like background colors on both of them, but different main colors, so that way it's like they're tied together and it'll be cute. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't done a quilt in a long time. I do still need to finish that rainbow Bargello quilt that I started for Kat, but it's so big. It's so big. It's really hard to quilt the top with my machine. So that's the other thing I want to talk to the store when I get here, is to see if they rent out the long arms for quilting the quilt top, and if they have like classes to teach you how to use it. Because man, a bitch would love to use a long arm. So I will check back in a minute. We'll see how it goes. Alrighty, fabric has been obtained. This is the first set, and this is the second set. So they are largely the same patterns, but in purple and blue. And then this will be the same fabric in between the two of them. So there'll be a pair of matching quilts for my besties. They don't watch this channel, so they won't see it. I can talk about it. Ha 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 ha. And here's the progress so far. So I have 140 of these, and this is just for one quilt. I have strips for the other quilt, but I think I'm going to focus on the blue one for a little bit and make some progress there, and then I'll do the same for the purple one. But I also think I'm going to go ahead and call this vlog here, because I suspect it's getting kind of long, and it's Friday, and it's about time for me to move on to some other tasks that I think would be best suited for a new vlog. So we're going to go ahead and say, here's your hydration reminder. Go drink some water. Have a snack. Take a nap. Get some rest. Have you rested recently? Rest is also very, very important. Please make sure you do that. And I will go ahead and catch you for the next one. Bye.